प्यायन्तु ममाङ्गानि वाक्प्राणश्चक्षुश्रोत्रमथो बलमेन्द्रियाणि च सर्वाणि सर्वं ब्रह्मोपनिषदं माहं ब्रह्म निराकुर्याम् मा ब्रह्म निराकरोत् अनिराकरणमस्तु अनिराकरणं मेस्तु तदात्मनिरतेय उपनिषत्सु धर्मास्ते मयि सन्तु ते मयि सन्तु। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। May all my limbs attain strength. May the body, mind, the sensory and motor organs and the life force all become strong and efficient. All is verily the one without second, absolute, blissful existence itself. Let me never deny this truth of oneness. Let this truth never reject me either. May all the virtues necessary to experience this truth as mandated by the scriptures be with me. Om. Peace, peace, peace. Let us feel the innermost core of being as a spark of light. And let us concentrate on that. As we concentrate, we can see this inner illumination is becoming brighter and brighter, bigger and bigger. I see it has pervaded my whole personality. I am this light. I see it has pervaded the whole existence. All different names and forms. They are dissolved. In this luminous, infinite, all-pervading ocean. gone is this separation of I and world. Gone is time and space. There are no desires, no suffering. The natural bliss has pervaded everything. Om, peace, peace, peace. The computer's IP address could not be contacted. Hmm. Has the IP address changed there? Hmm. Huh? Pardon? Okay, but it is not working here. Probably we have to change the IP address. Mm. Yes, technology is good, but there are sometimes, and that is because I am not an expert, you know. It is those who are experts, and they immediately see what is to be done and they set it. But since I don't have much knowledge about it, mm, anyway, so this is the 23rd class on Svetasvatara Upanisad, and amongst our, in addition to our regular attendees, there are some guests, and revered Swami Atmarupananji Maharaj also has graced today's class. So, thank you, Maharaj, for coming. So, let us begin with our regular prayers. Om Sahanavavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu Ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May we be protected together. May we be nourished together. May we attain strength together. May our study make us illumined. May there be no dislike between us. Om, peace, peace, peace. So, we are in the middle of the third chapter, and after the initial prayers, it has been told that we have to keep up the practice of transcending the world of names and forms. At the same time, we have to also be aware that the transcendence doesn't mean that in a physical sense going beyond, and that like there is this river and beyond the river is the State House. If you go down the Angel Street, you can see there is this Providence River, and then beyond that river is the State House. So the Brahman or God is beyond names and forms means sometimes one gets the idea quite naturally. I mean that is how our normal these connotations being so, and we see that names and forms will remain here, and then the State House or the God will remain on the other side. Both will exist simultaneously. There will be here the names and forms, and beyond those names and forms is God. So that is a natural idea that we get when it is told that we have to transcend. So, but therefore the Upanishads clarify that that which is transcendental is also immanent in all names and forms. So the transcendence is in that sense not here is God and here are names and forms, but the transcendence is like you go beyond the pictures that you see in the movie, and then you feel the screen. But the screen and the pictures the pictures in the movie are not separate, that you take out the pictures, put in your pocket, and then you see the screen. These pictures are pervaded in and through by that screen. So the names and forms are they in and through pervaded by that reality. The self is pervading everything. This is to be remembered, like other classic example that The ocean is beyond the waves. Doesn't mean that waves here, ocean there, but the waves, they are all pervaded by this oneness of ocean. So similarly, all these names and forms that we see, we rise like waves rise. We are sustained like the waves for some time, changing all continuously, and then falling back into that reality. So it is we live, we are born, we live, and dissolve back in that one reality. We are that. This is to be felt. And then it is told in this very beautiful verse quoted by Swami Vivekananda many times. We saw, discussed it partially in our last class, but some more discussion is necessary to clarify a few ideas, and that is this Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam Adityavarnam Tamasah Parastat तमेव विदित्वा अतिमृत्युमेति नान्यः पंथा vidyate yanaya. So, I have realized the great being who shines effulgent like the sun beyond all darkness. One passes beyond death only on realizing him. There is no other way of escape from the circle of births and deaths. I am coming to this to explain this meaning of word Purusha a little more, because I have heard some taking this meaning as if it is a particular man. Because in Sanskrit language the word Purusha also means a man. So there is a man, as it were, standing somewhere who is luminous, and you have to see that man many times especially in the Western traditions, that God is shown as a luminous man somewhere up in the ocean, in the heaven there. And so it appears to be something like this, that you see a being that is like a man. So therefore some ideas, women say that why it should be man, not women. It is not man or woman such thing there. These days these debates they spring up, that how in these Vedic literature women are always put down. See here, that Vedahametam Purusham Mahantam. Why did they not say Vedahametam Stri Mahatma Mahantam? They should have said like that. Striyam Mahantam should have been said. Why Purusham Mahantam? There is no such idea at all here. Purusha in the standard Vedic literature, if you look at Purusha Suktam, what it means is the indwelling being. That what you see inside, go inside, there is the conscious being beyond the matter. So, as the Purusha Suktam very beautifully describes, that Sahasra Shirsha Purushah Sahasrakshas Sahasrapat Sabhumim Vishvato Vritva Atyatishthad Dashangulam, that all that you see, all heads are being worked through by this one being. All hands, all feet, all bodies, they are pervaded and worked through by this one being. That being has 1,000 heads, means 1,000 not a particular number, but all heads belong to that being. All eyes belong to that being. So that is that universal being. And next line says, Purusha evedagam sarvam. That Purusha, that being is everything that you see. This, idam means this. This means whatever you are experiencing, all that is actually that being. And that being is luminous, means they full of consciousness. That is the conscious reality. This is again a very important statement in Vedanta, that sometimes the science says that, we also speak of oneness, it is all one matter or energy, whatever you may call, it is one. But they consider it to be inert. Vedanta says, no, it is conscious, it is luminous, it shines forth. By its luminosity, everything else gets illumined. That is the self-luminous. Last time we were discussing that part from the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, that how do we see? It is that particular part is called Atma Jyoti chapter. It is that Atma Jyoti Brahmana, that it is that is the light in everyone. As we recite, every day here in the evening, Sri Ramakrishna's that hymn, Arati hymn, that Jyotira Jyoti Ujjala Hridikandara, that you are the light of all lights. Light of all lights. Wherever you see the light, it is you who are shining. It is. So that is that light. When you see that inner light, so Puri means a town, as a dwelling place, a town. So Purishayanat iti Purushaha. The etymology of this word Purusha is like that it is the indwelling reality. It is a very important concept in all the Hindu Vedantic scriptures. You can see Sri Ramakrishna used to emphasize that God is here, right here, close by, and not there somewhere, and not in some remote heaven that God is sitting, and then you have to climb some ladder, a long, tall ladder to get there. There is no such thing. It is right here. Just seek within, and you will see that light, that reality, that truth, that is our true identity and the identity of everyone. Just as ocean is the true identity of each and every wave, so also each being here, small or big, maybe the minutest particle like electron to the huge galaxies, all small or big things are just that one luminous reality. That one has to see. If you see that, means you see that I am that. Seeing that in that sense, that look, what am I? Am I the skin? Am I the flesh that is inside the skin? Am I these nerves? No. Am I mind? No. Am I these sensory and motor organs? No. Like Shankaracharya's that great hymn, Mano buddhi ahankara chittani naham. I am not the mind and not the intellect, nor the mind stuff. I am nothing of that. Mm. Chidananda Rupa Shivoham Shivoham. I am that conscious reality, blissful reality. I am that one existence. So, this, when you realize this, you are beyond time, beyond space, and thus you have no death. There is no birth, no death. You are existence itself. You are born means you were not before that. It is sometimes at home when parents would discuss some event, something that happened, and I was some 2 3 year old child. So then I would say, why do I not know it? I didn't see that. So they would tell laughingly, "Oh, you were not born then, you were not there at that time." So, what do you mean? Where was I then? Where was I? So, uh, birth means before that you were not there, and then you keep on changing, and there would be the time that you will not be there. Even in between, you are continuously shifting and changing. That which was not in the beginning and not going to last, there would be an end after which it will not be there. In between also it is like that. There is that very beautiful verse in Mandukya Karikas, that that which is not in the beginning, adau ante cha yan nasti vartamanepi tat tatha, that which is not before and is not going to be later, in between also, although it appears to be there, actually it is not there even in the middle. So vartamanepi tat tatha. It is like that, even though you feel it is as if it is there. You were not there, like my parents would tell, you were not there, you were not born then. And then after some time, well, you are not there. So, in between also, it is not really there. That which is never comes, never goes. That is this luminous reality, knowing which you go beyond death. Tameva viditva atimrityumeti. Only then you go beyond this realm of coming and going, the death. It includes all diseases, troubles, like they getting tortured between likes and dislikes and all that. Everybody has to suffer here, because this is when one is having this erroneous awareness that I am this limited existence, then it is suffering. So, when one transcends it, then alone, that is important, tam eva, that knowing that alone, then that you go beyond death. Otherwise, there is no way to go beyond this cycle of birth and death. You keep on moving it. Nanya pantha. There is no other way. Sometimes this is, if this is not properly understood, this sounds very fanatic. There is no other way. There are infinitely many ways. Why he is saying only this way? This way is not a particularized path as such, but unless we transcend this appearance, there is no way to see the truth and be enshrined in our true nature, which is immortal and ever blissful. So, this is the idea that is expressed here. Then it tells that to show this transcendence and immanence, transcendental immanence, this next verse says that it is everything. Yasmat param na paramasti kinchid yasman aniyo na jayosti kaschit vriksha iva stabdho divitishtatyeka tenedam purnam purushena sarvam. There is not higher than or different from him. Not greater nor more minute than him. Rooted in his own glory, he stands like a tree, one without a second, and immovable. By that being, this whole universe is filled. Hey, the verse is so beautiful that there is nothing more minute than it is, because it is inside everything, so must be smaller than that. And you may say that no, electron is the smallest thing, or whatever other fundamental particles, I don't know the names, that is the smallest thing. But in that also, this principle, this divine is there. So, it is smaller than that. And if you see that whatever the most gigantic thing, that gigantic thing like say a galaxy which is say a billion light years long and so forth, that much is the dimension, so big. Still it is on superimposed on this reality. It is like you see in a movie that even the tiniest thing in the movie will have the screen inside it. So screen is finer than that small thing. And even if you like that, what that Star War or the big huge celestial bodies, they also are on that screen. So they can never become bigger than the screen in that movie. So that self is bigger than the biggest. And smaller than the smallest. You will find similar verses in all other Upanishads, like Kathopanishad says, Anoraniyan Mahato Mahiyan Atmasya Janto Nihito Guhayam. That it is Anoraniyan, smaller than the smallest that you can think of, and bigger than biggest. And it is there is nothing greater or smaller than that is. It is sounds like contradictory to our common understanding. Tell me, either small or big, how can it be both? I mean, yeah, it is. If you say that it is smaller than electron, okay, then it cannot be bigger than atom. If it is smaller than electron, it has to be smaller. How can it be bigger? No, this is smallest and biggest, because it pervades everything. It is one without second. It has no variations, and yet all variations are included in it. This is, as we were discussing it in another class, that these ideas are not to be understood just by the exercise of logical faculties or rationalities. These are to be perceived in meditation, that yes, it is that reality on which everything is superimposed. It does not change at all. It remains identical, same. And yet all motion that we see is superimposed on that. It is, uh, in that sense, one has to see that evanescence of all names and forms, they come and go, and that just remains. It is, again, you can take the example of the screen in the movie. In the movie, you may say a big car race, Formula 100. So, you can see it on the movie. The cars are moving fast, fast, fast. Does the screen move anywhere? It remains there. It does not move, but all the movement is on it. All the movement happens on it. So the self does not move anywhere. And therefore it is said here that rooted in his own glory, he stands like a tree, means motionless, without any change. There is absolutely no change that happens in it. Uh, and our mind then immediately starts, it is that it has so much ignorance filled in it that it says, okay, so Lord is motionless and we are all having motion. So, no, it is not like that. All the motion, all the moving objects that you see are just superimposed on it. It does not undergo any change while you are perceiving motion. It is, when we say for example, that Atmarupanandji came from Houston to Providence. And now who came? Uh, who came? The body travelled. Ah, the mind might be still in Houston, who knows? So it is, the body, because mind doesn't need the aeroplane to travel in. It is, so the body got into the plane and travelled and came here. But the mind doesn't need to travel like that. So, but did he actually, as inner reality, as the self, uh, nobody comes or goes anywhere. It is everywhere already. And that is how that great Ishavasya Upanishad puts it, that while being stable, while being at one place, it overtakes all the moving objects. It is so fast that howsoever fast one may move, this Atman overtakes that also, and yet without moving. This is the special feature, that it won't move and yet it will go overtake it. Shankaracharya in his commentary on that verse in Ishavasya Upanishad mentions that it is that the mind is the fastest amongst the known objects. Nothing is faster than mind. Because see, it is, although you are here and to say go to some other country, you need visa, this, that. But to the mind does not need any such thing, and does not need any in a jiffy, in a shortest conceivable time, the mind goes there. But and that is how Shankaracharya explains it very beautifully. But when the mind goes there, it again finds the self right there. So it has overtaken it. It started where the self was and reached there, again finds the same self. So this self has, while not moving anywhere, has overtaken, has gone faster. So it is like that, that it is while being in one place, vriksha iva stabdha, immutable, doesn't move anywhere. And yet it is faster than all moving objects. It is one without second and immovable. By that being, the whole universe is pervaded. A very deep analysis is done here, but as I mentioned, these things can be felt, experienced only in meditation. One can meditate on these great ideas that yes, that one divine principle pervades everything. The self pervades everything. The self is here, self is there, same self in all. In our ignorance, we feel that since these bodies are separate, the self also must be separate. But it is not the case. Like you can have uh, millions of water bottles. Bottles are different, but the water is same in them. And so also the self in all these, and we are like bottles, isn't it, shape? So it is in all of them, this self is identical, no difference at all. All pervasive nature of the self is also to be remembered, while remembering that it is transcendent. The practice of transcendence is extremely important in spiritual life. In fact, the meditation means negating our existence confined by body, mind, etc. That one has to transcend that. And therefore, you see all that you are seeking in life. That is the goal of our life. It is the God is goal of our life. As Sri Ramakrishna would always insist that God realization is the only goal of human life, because that is what actually we are consciously or unconsciously seeking. In Jnana Yoga, Swami Vivekananda has this beautiful paragraph. We all are seeking mukti, freedom. Our Charles has humors, so he says that I asked him, hey, will you take tea? Which tea do you like? He said, I don't like any tea except mukti. So it is, I like mukti. So it is, we all want mukti. Even a little child, you say, wants freedom, and does not want to be, it is to be dictated, to be bound. If the parents try to be, hey, does it, hey, don't go there. They, uh, if you want to make the child study, then the best thing is to tell the child, hey, don't study. And who are you to tell me? Yeah, well, I have my freedom, I will study, you see. In our that marsh field, we were thinking, how to prevent this children scam the children to go to into properties of other neighbors and all. So it was thought that we can put a kind of a fence there and say there, no, don't go beyond. This is. Then one of the experienced members said, to say that don't cross over means an invitation for the children to do exactly that. So, because we all are seeking freedom. So, that is God is freedom. We are all seeking happiness. What, Tommy, you don't seek happiness? Yeah, exactly. Everybody seeks happiness. God is bliss and God is happy. So that is why God is our goal. And one meaning of this beautiful word Narayana is the goal of human beings. Narayana Ayanam, the goal of human beings is God. So, and if we understand it, we will strive maximum to realize it. It is only because we don't understand this, we run after these trifles thinking that that will make us happy. That piles up more and more misery, but it takes time for us to understand that. One of our members told me, that it is what you say is right, but people first try all the wrong things, then they try to go to the right thing, because right thing appears somehow to be very difficult. Actually, when you look into it, it should be the easiest thing, because you don't have to go anywhere. You have to just seek within you, and you know that God is there. You don't have to have a spacecraft. You don't have to, book your ticket like that. What is that? SpaceX. Come that that they are selling tickets. I heard for Mars, going to Mars, one-way ticket. So it is so and getting customers, So here you don't have to do any such thing. And to go in that spaceship, you have to do lot of preparation. Uh, I went to one NASA's facility in Huntsville, Alabama. So there they have some these places where they give you different levels of gravity experience. In zero gravity, how would you feel in zero gravity? And then 3G, triple gravity, you are put there. And I went there into it. I already warned that, well, you will find it difficult to lift your hand. Not you may not be. It is, and then I thought, what is this? We are so used to this normal gravity that okay, I can lift my hand, um, and then when it started, I just was tied as if so many ropes are tied around me. There was nothing was tying me, but I was just stuck to that place, no movement, let alone hand. Moving a finger was so difficult, almost impossible. So, those astronauts, they are given training to be under 5G. This was only 3G. So, what I mean is that these are difficult things, but to go to our true nature, this self, it is simplest of the things. I don't understand. That why God realization is considered difficult. It is the simplest thing that can be done, and we do. It is not at all as hard. Why, Teresa, you don't seem to agree? That isn't God realization the simplest thing? Huh? Ah, oh, okay. So to get the purification, that's a good point, that it is because we are so attached to the impurity that we don't want to get purified. It is the impurities, they are kind of attractive, they bind us, we get attached to those, and therefore, although we want happiness, instead of happiness, we run to that which is making us suffer. And again we do that. it is a problem. So, therefore, these things are to be meditated upon and are to be practiced. That God realization is the easiest thing actually. You don't have to go anywhere. You do not have to do anything. Only stop doing. That's it. You don't have to do anything. Stop doing. There is a beautiful Sanskrit couplet that says that this hoping for this happiness and that happiness is a very astonishing chain of human beings. Kachid Ascharya Shrinkhala. It is a very astonishing chain that human beings are bound by. What happens? Normally, if you are bound by a chain, you will not be able to move. But when this very special chain, when you are bound by it, then you keep on running about hither thither all the where you want to do this, I want to do this, I want, all that desires keep on springing. Sit still, don't do anything, becomes very torturous. It is there is the story of a king. He used to give food to somebody, that who was doing nothing, was sitting under a tree there in front of the palace. And then those courtiers, they became jealous. They told king, why do you want to feed that? He's just lazy fellow. You are encouraging laziness. Stop. The king said, wow, why, what does it hurt you? In what way does it hurt you? Tell me, are you not getting your dues? Why are you worried if I give a little food to that fellow? It is, I will give you also. Come on, sit, don't do anything, sit. And 5 minutes were kind of too much. It is all, no, this is to be done, oh, okay, that is to be done. It is. So the next line of that says, when this chain, when you are bound by this chain, you keep on running about everywhere. When you are freed from this chain, then you don't go anywhere. So, it is like this, that by that being the whole universe is filled. Where can it go? It cannot go anywhere. Going means, suppose like you go, means you were not there, so you, from one place you go to that place. But if you are everywhere, is there going possible for you? You are already everywhere. Where can you go? A very important idea. That is how you become free. When we practice these things, we become gradually, we understand our ever free nature. So, that is how it is. One has to go beyond this. Tato yaduttaratam tad arupam anamayam ya etad vidu amritaste bhavanti atha itare dukkhamevapiyanti. You will see very similar verses in Kathopanishad and in Bhagavad Gita as well, that that being is far beyond this world, is formless and free from misery. They who know this become immortal, but all others have indeed to suffer misery alone. Nobody is with us in misery. In happiness, everybody is there to rejoice with us. Misery, well, that you have to suffer your own misery. It is, people may give some consolation, oh, very sorry, this is how it happens, but only one suffers, that's all. So, you keep on suffering. Why? Because we do not realize that being far beyond this world, far beyond in the sense, unless we transcend, we don't get it. That is why it appears to be far, far beyond. But we have to take up the courage to go beyond that. All it needs is courage. That Yatishwarananda's one book is titled Adventurous in Religious Life. One has to be adventurous. Means, well, here it is all suffering. Let me go beyond. Try. Try to step beyond this box of name and form. I am beyond this. And then that is where you will become free from all suffering. Otherwise, atha itare, if you don't do that, here there is no possibility of getting away from suffering. Here everybody has to suffer. Poor people, they suffer, they have no money, so they think we suffer because we have no money. Rich suffer because they have money. Only this, it is changes, that's all. It is like some people, they suffer because they haven't got married. Others suffer because they got married. It is all like that, There is no end of suffering. It is, it is one girl, she was she got into some alliance was coming for her, and then she was very happy. Oh, Swami, please pray that everything goes on well and it will be a very happy. I am looking forward to that. Wonderful. I said, yes, may this marriage be propitious to your happiness and all that. And then, then she started complaining about her husband, kept on writing emails and making phone calls, that he's like this and he's. Well, earlier you were saying he is so good. Now what happened? No, he is good, but not always. So, means whenever it is. So, this is the world, suffering, suffering, suffering. It is, there is no escape. Anywhere you go, there is no escape unless you see this truth. Atha itare, that those who do not, they go anywhere, no suffering. That is the nature. You all probably have seen this movie, Wizard of Oz. Its beginning is like that it is that somewhere over the rainbow, that it indicates that transcendence. You have to go beyond. Under the rainbow means under this variety, names, forms, multiplicity. That is, you have to transcend this multiplicity. Otherwise, here it is all frustrating life, miseries. Whether you get something that you were looking for, then you become unhappy because you got it. It is, somebody I know looking for another job. I don't want this job at all. And then got another job, then the problems of the new job are there. What can be done? It is the problems are there. There is no escape, friends, from problems if we do not go beyond these names, forms, this multiplicity, to that being which is our true nature. It is right here. Right here. Sri Ramakrishna used to say, here, here, that is right, that is knowledge. There, that is ignorance. That is somewhere you have to go for it. No, right here. So, uh, that is this idea, very important idea. When you transcend, then alone you will be happy. Otherwise, there is no possibility of escape from suffering. It is, one keeps on, that it is funny, but that is how it happens. The children, they feel they will be happy once they grow older. Now they have to be under the thumb of their parents. Whatever they tell, they have to do. They grow, then they start writing poems about how the beautiful the days of my childhood were there, how free and how nice it used to be. It used to be so fun. Ask children, they don't think that it is very funny. Childhood is very funny. It is only after you grow old, then you start thinking, oh, the childhood was so funny. We were so carefree and all that. So everywhere it is like that. Shankaracharya says that, look, you have all that बालस्तावत् क्रीडासक्तः तरुणस्तावत् तरुणीरक्तः वृद्धस्तावत् चिन्तामग्नः परे ब्रह्मणि कोऽपि न लग्नः. That it is that when you are child, you are attached to these your toys and plays like that. When you grow an adult, young person, adult, then your toys become different. You run after this man or that woman and all that. They become your toys. And then when you become old, then you are all covered with worries. Always worrying, that is how it is the old age. One sign of old age is that worrying, how this will happen, if that doesn't happen, oh, then this will happen, and all. Why you are worried, don't bother about these things. But it is very difficult. When one becomes old, this is how. And pare brahmani kopi na lagnaha. Nobody is thinking about realizing the truth. Child is like that, and the adults are like that, the old are like that. Who has time to think of God, you see? So, we shall continue the discussion. We will meditate for 30 seconds, and in case you have any questions, you may feel free to ask. Please feel free to ask. Yes, has anybody any question? Oh, Paul, you have, okay. Pardon? Our hearts be to an eye. Well, it is because here the heart is not a physical organ. When that word is used, it means the seat of consciousness. So, it has a physical kind of symbolic connection, because when you say about I, you put your hand here, that you may say, I am a good person. Even if your nose is very nice looking, you don't say I am a good person like that. It is I. So you show your I here. So in that sense, figuratively it is described, that's all. That is why it is told to meditate on God in the heart. So where you feel your that ego or I, instead of that ego, kick it out and feel God there. So that is the idea. Anything else? So we shall close with the closing prayers. All of you know that tomorrow is the day-long spiritual retreat for which revered Atmarupananji has kindly come, and if you still have not registered uh, but want to register, then there is Naomi. She will help you, uh, and you can get registered. So, uh, let us conclude with the prayers. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Shri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.